It's time for Cutting Edge Consciousness with Freeman Michaels and Barnet Bain. Thought-provoking discussions and bold ideas from the edge of possibility.
We're back on Cutting Edge Consciousness. This is Barnet Bain with my co-host Freeman Michaels, and we have with us our guest, filmmaker and health entrepreneur Harry Massey. And before the break, Freeman, you were about to share some of your enthusiasm for Harry's Dr. McCoy Star Trek
That's
thing.
exactly right. You know, it's interesting because one of the things that, Harry, I did a little research before we had you on, and one of the things I heard you say is that it mimicked, in at least to some degree, the device that Dr. McCoy had on Star Trek. And I want to speak to that in this context, that, you know, all of these visionaries, all of these people that are able to imagine something, it's the imaging of it, and then the manifesting or the expression of it that we find is really secondary to the imagining of it. And I love the idea that oftentimes what is seemingly fiction is really an image of what's possible, and then that truth follows fiction or something, that we actually then can develop something because we have an image or an idea of it, and then it's just a matter of pursuing it. How does that play out in the context of creating this device?
It's like I said, it's like they always say, an overnight success took 10 years in the preparation. I guess 11. There's this scientist called Peter Fraser who, 25 years before I met him, which was 10 years ago, so 35 years ago, he was the first. That's a long story. But he basically spent 25 years researching and mapping out what he called the human body field, which is the information and energy that controls function in the body. And I met him about 10 years ago because of the manifestation of wanting to make such a device, and we met over in California, even though he's Australian and I'm British, and we both flew to LA, and he started using what he was doing to help heal me, and it didn't cure me overnight or anything, but it was having all these effects on me, so I basically backed his ideas and what he was saying, and started working towards making this system. And it is a really long process. Like I had that idea in bed, ill, and we actually made a practitioner system first of all, which was a computerized system, so it wasn't portable and handheld, which we've basically marketed to practitioners for the last 10 years and done quite well with that. But 4 years ago, I was like, well, this wasn't what I set out to do in the first place. My thing was always, how on earth can you help the person at home who A can't afford to go to practitioner, and B if you can empower someone at home to look after their own health and get better. That's ultimately a better way if we can help support people in their own healing journey.
Well, tell us how this works.
How it works? Oh, okay. It works in a number of ways, but at the most fundamental, if you're looking at if you're looking at normal Einstein stuff of energy equals mc squared, I sort of re-say that in a different way, where to say that really reality is structured energy. So, or if you like, reality is energy plus information. And so the key part to that is what on earth is the information? What on earth structures energy? And that applies to biology as well. Like if you're looking at your body, and it has all these amazing
structured information. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it has all these amazing systems that are controlling everything that's going on, so that your blood's the same temperature, that your nervous system works correctly, etc. Mm-hmm. And what we did is just look at that information. We ignored biochemistry and all the rest of it, and we just said, well, what's the information that's actually controlling and dictating the structure of what's going on in the body at that moment in time? And Peter's the one who measured that over the previous 25 years, and I took that information and computerized it, and then from a computer, it's not such a leap to then make a handheld device, because in the end, a lot of it's software.
So these are resonances. These are energy frequencies that hold a particular harmonic, and they're.
If you like, I mean, it's gone a bit further from. I mean, in alternative medicine, there's all these ideas of frequency and rife and all that type of stuff, and it's not so much based on that. It's more the actual. I mean, like a typical frequency is something that happens within time and many times a second, but it's instead of that idea, it's literally pure information outside of time. But I mean, in effect, it does work through a resonant way.
I think, the point that I really wanted to make, though I'm thrilled you went into this, is really, I'm going to say it back sort of in the same language you were using, that reality is energy organized around an idea. So the concept that became this handheld device, right? It was an idea of what was possible, and it became reality by means of all the energy that you organized around the idea, around the concept, that ultimately made it so.
That's definitely correct. And I definitely found, over the years, if something takes 10 years, you organise the ideas and people, and you get to one particular level of cohesion, and then you go again and you go again and you go again, and eventually you get something that's really beautiful and structured. But nothing is built immediately. It's all built on squillions of previous ideas, that's how evolution works.
But on a negative side, too, we talk about this, Barnet, we've talked about this, that we have a belief, and all this energy organizes around that belief. And it is so. I mean, it appears that way, not because it's inherently that way, but because that's what we're promoting.
Because we're the organizers. We have modulators that place raw data into a formation, in formation. So data is organized in a way that beyond our capacity to perceive and conceive, but we downstep it through whatever modulators we use to calibrate our senses, our beliefs, our thoughts, our choices. And by the time we are finished, we take a Niagara of possibility and reduce it to a drip from the kitchen faucet. Right. But then something remarkably innovative comes along once in a while, and somebody is able to leapfrog past or through the limitations of their modulation, and you get something innovative, not recreative, like Harry's device.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that one of the secrets there is to have have quite a blank open mind, but also at the same time, which sounds like an oxymoron, like you do an incredible amount of research and understanding, and it's
founded, Harry, on the curiosity. So Barnet and I are sitting here talking to you, three curious guys. That's what the truth of the matter is.
When the energy behind the curiosity trumps the energy of the resistance to wonder, then we are open to perceive, to organize the raw energy in such a way that it is graceful.
And one of the things for me back 12 years ago that really catalyzed it is I didn't actually have anything whatsoever to lose, because I was completely ill in bed already been ill in bed 6 or 7 years with the potential of another God knows how many years in bed or dying, which wasn't a very appealing choice. And so to me, I thought, well, it doesn't matter that I've got no money, no health, no energy, and I don't know what on earth I'm doing.
So
if I can expend if I can expend the energy that I have each day, which is generally less than an hour at that time, and it builds up to a few hours. If you expend it in that direction, then I know what happens when you do that, because it happened. It happened to me, but I think that's the real truth. To be honest, none of us really have anything to lose, but to to try and go in a direction, and when you do that, amazing things do happen.
Well, and Harry, this is a classic story where the conventional beliefs were such a bad bargain in your case that you were willing to risk something outside of the box, if you will. That's what it's often referred to, or the construct, or the convention. And you're willing to go, this sucks. Let me ponder a possibility. And even if it's out there, it's worth it because this is not, a good deal. And there's a risk. I mean, you risk people thinking you're crazy. You risk ridicule. You risk all kinds of pushback or resistance from your universe, as it were, which I'm sure you did. But in the process, you blow open the box.
Yeah, and that I mean, it's definitely the thing that stops. I think, well, like most, a lot of people I meet who stops it. It's definitely just the fear of thinking, of I think it's the fear in them that they don't think people will accept their ideas. But as soon as you overcome that fear, of course, you just meet more and more like-minded people who love your ideas, and you realise that there's nothing really to be afraid of at all.
Imagine being Gandhi's dad, and Gandhi comes to him and says, "Dad, here's my plan for my life. I'm going to go do this." There's no way. I mean, all those extraordinary people, it's off the map. It's not. They're map makers. That's what Barnet likes to call
Gandhi's dad. Yep.
Yeah.
We're going into the salt non-business.
That's right.
How is that, Dad?
That would have made perfect sense. But the idea that he's going to go out and change
I'm leaving
India,
medicine. I'm going into the salt non-business.
Yeah, I'm going to totally blow the box up.
I just love this story so much, Harry, because what I also hear in it is a big distinction. People often back themselves into a situation where they come to make sets of fundamental choices as a defiance or as a gasp or or taking on great risk, and it's powerful. It works. I'm not to say that isn't powerful, but what I hear in your story is something another layer below it. Beyond taking great risk, you were in a situation where you had very limited energy and resources whatsoever, and you rather than not so much taking a risk, from what I'm hearing, is that you encountered a great humility. And this humility showed up in such a way that even though life has always appeared to be one way, you had the humility out of your situation to believe that in the very next instant it could all be different.
I don't know if I learned humility at that point, or even if now. I've definitely had humility banged at me a few times. Even as recently as like a year and a half ago, when I was making Choice Point and trying to run Nest at the same time, and actually it was too much to do, and then I handed over my 10-year-old baby of Nest to someone else, and it was quite a harrowing experience for me, but it's all worked out. It's all worked out fine, and you suddenly realise that you're not like everyone's expendable in a way, but it doesn't matter because it frees you up to the next possibilities.
It's really great.
What is the next possibility for you?
Let's talk about it.
What lies ahead for Harry Massey?
It's going to sound a bit outlandish, but I'll tell you anyway.
We love outlandish.
The movie's there as a catalyst, really, and the idea behind it is, well, what on earth can help transform the planet within our choice point now, and obviously the center of the answer is in people. Like if we can help free up people and help them develop, help them give them health choices, and help set up positive media so everyone knows about all these solutions, then that will help people to then align their own purposes with where patterns are going. And from all of these people, by combining great ideas and people and capital, we can then go forth and solve all these other problems in the world. Because to me, I thought, well, it took 10 years for Nest, and there's all these other incredible things you can do in communications. Like when you're talking about the phone, in my head, just in my head, but I've done some experiments to know that we can make a wireless, Wi-Fi-less, radio waveless, internetless phone that just works through action at a distance, and that was a massive statement. There's also the answers in energy of how you can transfer energy through space. There's millions of solutions right here today for many problems. Obviously, they all get blocked to a certain extent. And I thought, well, 10 years to do one thing is too long. So I thought I'd set myself 3 tasks for life. One was health, one was energy, one was communications. And I realised last year that's 30 years. That's ridiculous. So instead, why not help other people to align their purpose and help them to solve all these problems with some of the experience that I've gathered in the last 10 years. So that's I guess that's my future.
You're going for the visionary guy. You're going to be the visionary.
Please know that whatever lies ahead for you, we hope that you will consider this program,
Yes.
and as well as Freeman and me, your allies, and that you can turn to us at any point. We're pretty enthusiastic about what you are up to in the world, and we want to lend our support in whatever way is possible. In the meantime, we have run out of time, but before we go, we would like to you to let us or let our audience know where they can learn more about the movie and about what you're up to.
Sure. It's choice. Well, it's www.choicepointmovement.com that's the movie and movement site, and you can read about all the where the future of these patterns are going and what it's all about. And the health company and the My Health device is on a different site called Nest Health, which is www.nes8health.com.
Beautiful. Harry, thank you so much for spending the time.
Thank you both very much.
And for listeners, stay tuned because we'll be right back after these messages.